back in. But, if there was an investor at that point in time in my world, I might have looked at that very, very seriously. So how can folks reach you today if they are thinking about doing that?
You can send me an email at whitneybuyshousestn@gmail.com. Check out the website, whitneybuysHouses.com, or our office phone number is 865-309-4500.
Fantastic. Folks, stay tuned to Mortgage Matters. We're going to be right back. We're going to hear more from Whitney and Anna. See you then.
Interest-free radio and fixed-rate truth. Welcome back to Mortgage Matters from United Capital Lending with Roger McGee and Mike Raines.
All right, welcome back to Mortgage Matters. Bringing you the latest and greatest when it comes to real estate finance in East Tennessee. Folks, the market has been red hot this summer. Had just a little bit of a flat week last week, school starting back. But it's going to get busier and busier and busier as the years go on. So having your team of professionals at hand, at your disposal, is going to be an important thing. Always remember, UnitedCapitalLending.com. We've been talking to Miss Whitney Nicely and Miss Anna Whitworth. And so here's the questions. Do you have a house that's vacant? Do you have a house that needs repairs? Do you have a divorce situation in your family? Do you have bad tenants? Are you behind on your payments? If any of these things you can relate to, giving Whitney a call may be a solution to your problems. Whitney, tell us how these clients will reach you. Give us your contact information, and then we're going to segue into a little bit of a joint conversation between you and Anna.
There's several different ways to get a hold of me. I love social media. So Whitney Buys Houses is on Instagram, Facebook. We've got whitneybuyshousestn@gmail.com if you want to send me an email. We're also on YouTube and Periscope. And anytime you see a pink sign that says Whitney Buys Houses, it'll have our phone number, 865-309-4500. 309-4500.
Now, I know lately you and Anna have been spending some time together making these videos. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Well, when you get two real estate chicks together, the nerdiness comes out of both of us, I think. And we spent a couple hours
giggling
and talking about real estate and really like bouncing questions off of each other as to what kind of issues do I have when I'm buying houses, and then when I find tenant buyers or buyers to buy these houses that I've bought, and then what kind of issues does Anna have that I can help her with to prepare people when they go to talk to her to get their mortgage.
All right, let's break that down a little bit, Anna. Let's talk about the latest releases.
Latest release.
Your videos. Which ones have you done?
This morning, I put one up on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Whitney Nicely. And it was talking about, what if I have a cash business? What if I'm a bartender? What if I'm a hairstylist? Or a server? Or, there's people out there that, have cash money and they don't have a regular 9-to-5. So can they get a mortgage? Mm-hmm. What kind of paperwork do they need? And Anna elaborated on that.
Yeah, we had a video on good credit, no credit, bad credit. It's not the end of the road for you. No credit doesn't necessarily mean bad credit. So we had another one. What do I need to do to get pre-approved? There's a slew of them.
Well, let's talk about that. Now, when you're doing your thing, now, do you only buy houses, Whitney, or do you sell these things too from time to time?
I will do a lease option, lease purchase, or rent to own. Is a general term that people in the market know, and we do sell them. Sometimes I accidentally have a regular closing and people bring cash or a mortgage and buy the house that I'd planned on having for 8 or 10 years.
Okay.
So that's exciting, but that means I need to go get something else to play with for the next 8 or 10 years.
Okay. So you're really fishing in all the ponds. You're a real estate professional. You're listing properties too?
I don't list properties like a typical listing agent. I'm not a typical buyer's agent. I've got my own little world that I play in, and I've got certain rules that I play by. I play by the normal realtor rules as a broker, but I also have different strategies than typical listing agent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we won't let you talk about the secret sauce about your business because I think it's a fantastic business model. It's unique. You probably have very little competition out there, and that's a really good thing for you. You just hit on something, though, that I think may spark an interest with folks. The cash income earners, the servers, the waitresses, the bartenders, the hairstylists. Those folks do sometimes and many times have trouble getting finance because they're primarily not preparing ahead of time. What did you say? What was the advice you gave them?
Cash is not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, it's really hard to count it as income, but it is perfect if it's in an account that's just sitting in there. It's not bad that you make cash. I understand. I have tons of friends that handle business and make cash, and they make a lot of money. But in the lending world, everything has to be sourced. You have to have a paper trail. And if you can't give that to us, that's fine, but you're going to probably need a down payment sometime down the road. And if it's something I can't do and, it's not cookie cutter, I'll flip them to Whitney. And I'm like, hey, I got a good deal for you here. They have tons of money. It's just I can't get them approved. So.
Now, if somebody brought a big sack full of cash into the office, you would have to have them put it into a bank account, right?
Yes, and we would probably have to close, it needs to be in an account for 60 days. Or produce a paper trail. I actually had a client that bought a piece of furniture from a yard sale. Okay, had over $100,000 cash in the top drawer. We couldn't do anything with it at all until 60 days. Then at that point we had to write a contract.
Wow. This is highlighting the reason that you should get involved with your dream, achieving your dream early. If you think I want to buy a house next summer, then you should be talking to someone at United Capital Lending today. Yeah. And we can help you get prepared and postured for that, because just like right now, I think between right now and December we're going to see interest rates go up some. Well, if you think, okay, well I'm going to strike right before that happens. But if you haven't been pre-approved and you hadn't had your income screened, you might miss the mark. And we see these situations like, and as example right here, someone actually had more than enough money to buy a home, to put money down on a home, $100,000 in the top drawer of their house. Probably a lot of us out there like that. But
mine's under my mattress.
But now if you've got to wait 60 days for that money to become seasoned in the bank, which it makes it usable for a mortgage lender, you might have missed a contract on your dream home. It matters to get started early. Anna, Whitney, one more time, let's talk about how folks can reach you all, and then we're going to talk final thoughts with Kenny.
You can, this is Anna Whitworth. You can reach me on my cell phone at any time. It's 865-679-9765. I also have Facebook and a YouTube account. It's Mortgage Chick 1. You could see some of my videos on there. The most important thing that I want to stress is you just have to make that first call. If you don't make that call, you're not going to get any kind of information that you could possibly need in the future to buy that home that you've been eyeing. So give me a call, 865-679-9765.
All right, Whitney.
Again, it's Whitney Nicely with Whitney Buys Houses and Nicely Done Auctions. If you need to get rid of a house fast and you just need cashed out, give me a call. If you have tenants and you want to do some sort of owner financing, I love owner financing. If you have 10 acres, 15 acres, or 200 acres that you want to sell at an auction, I've got online auctions at acre.bid, and coming up in September, we have 215 acres for sale in Scott County. I call that the meat of my auction, so I'm looking for some green beans and mashed potatoes if you've got a smaller parcel of land that you want to sell at auction. My phone number is 865-309-4500. You can check out our website, whitneybuysHouses.com, and our email address is whitneybuyshousestn, like Tennessee, @gmail.com.
Fantastic. Mr. Whelan, you've been over there real patient, brother. Real patient.
Look at Whitney's business card.
We got a little time left.
Pink.
Here's my sunglasses.
Pink.
What final thoughts do you have for today, sir?
Financial planners, give me a call. The New York Times just did a recent article, using a reverse mortgage to stretch your retirement savings. We've done that. I've closed 2 in maybe the last 30 days that didn't draw any cash, and they kept it in a line of credit. It's drawing 4.5%. So there's several ways retirees or even pre-retirees can extend their savings when working longer is not an option. Just like this one we just talked about, he's bringing $50,000 to the table. He's got a plan. He's got a plan, a long-range plan. He's going to pay himself and then have no mortgage payment at all. Real estate agents, let's look into reverse for purchase. It'll put you on the cutting edge of the technology of a mortgage. It is another option. Please, please, please call me and we can make it happen. Sit down and you'll be the shining star.
Fantastic. Whether you're a real estate professional, whether you're an investor, whether you're a home buyer or a home owner, United Capital Lending can become your best friend and your best resource when it comes to questions in those fields. Whether it's a reverse mortgage, whether it's an investor, whether it's a first-time home buyer, whether you're a homeowner and you need to get cash out of your home for improvements or other purposes, we are a one-stop shop. We are a local lender here in Knoxville, Tennessee, which means we lend our money, which means we underwrite our loans. We don't depend on another company for that. We're located between Knoxville, Kingston Pike, and Parkside Drive, right over here at 150 North Seven Oaks Drive. If you know where Windsor Square is, you know where United Capital Lending is. We got some events coming up here in the fall you're going to begin hearing about shortly. But folks, make no mistake, when you sit down with a loan officer at United Capital Lending, you're going to make a relationship first, and then you're going to get your job done. We take all comers. If you've been turned down by a local bank, if you've been turned down by a local lender, if you're stuck in the quagmire of a loan process and you hadn't seen daylight for 60 or 90 days, you're in trouble. You need to call 934-1400, 934-1400. So on behalf of all the folks at United Capital Lending, on behalf of Ken Wieland and Whitney Nicely and Anna Whitworth, we thank y'all first and foremost for coming out and spending some time with us today. And folks, we thank you for spending some time with us today. We know if you're out there driving around, you probably just hit a bit and piece here and there. Call 934-1400. We'll drill into your specific situation and find your solution. We'll see you next week on Mortgage Matters.